So before I let you go, what's your concern level about Josh Allen, having seen what you saw on Monday night, Robert?
Yeah, Rich, with Josh, I really do love Josh's game. And more times than not, he balances out the turnovers with spectacular plays, right? If he throws 3 picks, he throws 4 touchdowns. Or if he throws 2 picks, he throws 5 touchdowns, whatever it may be. But all offseason, this is all we talked about with Josh. Hey, you got to protect the ball. You got to protect your body. You got to play smarter football, and you got to get Stephon Diggs involved. Well, he did get Stephon Diggs involved. 100 yards receiving, that was awesome. But everything else, he threw caution to the wind. And honestly, for me, normally we see Josh make some questionable throws, but not quite as many as he had in the game against the Jets. He threw in the double covers twice deep down the field when he shouldn't have. On one of them, he actually had a tight end running down free down the sideline that he could have hit, who was still kind of covered, but was one-on-one, which is more of an opportunity ball. But when you ask the specific question of what's my level of concern, I would just tell you to look at Josh Allen's face. Look at his face in the post-game presser. That didn't look like a guy that knew or had the solutions to the problem. He did accept the blame and say it was all on him for them losing the game, which I tip my hat to him for, not only because that's what you're supposed to do as a quarterback, but because it was the reality of the situation. But I do think that he needs to go in and just do some soul searching about when he needs to put on the cape and when he needs to take it off, because he's so used to being Superman, and I don't want this to take away his stinger, Rich. His stinger is his ability to make big-time plays, but he's got to stop hurting his team.
Well, and then, Allen, as we all know, has been part of the Final Four in the AFC for a while, for a few years in a row. Burrow lost as well. You had Mahomes lose week 1, and obviously Trevor Lawrence wins week 1. It's Lawrence versus Mahomes this weekend. My last one for you, 1 weekend, and I understand this is an overreaction, knee-jerk question, but why not? Won't hold you to it. Who do you think is the Final Four in the AFC now after what you saw in week 1, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, Rich, you are putting me on the spot, and I don't have an answer for that because, for one, Joe Burrow has avoided a lot of criticism because of how bad Josh played. Right, Burrow had a terrible game, worst completion percentage of his career. I think they were 2 for 15 on 3rd downs. I mean, they looked atrocious. They couldn't protect him. And I'll go ahead and say this, Rich, because I said it before. I'm really afraid for Joe Burrow because there's a guy that was drafted before me named Andrew Luck who got beat up in Indy for years. And he was a really great player. And his body was so beat up at the end of his career, he decided to just hang it up. He hung it up. And I don't want to see that happen to Joe Burrow because he is getting the living crap beat out of him in the pocket. And I got the facts to back it up. Since 2021, he's been the 2nd most hit quarterback inside the pocket. And I don't want to see Joe Burrow turn into Andrew Luck. That, to me, would be a travesty for Joe. It would be a travesty for the Bengals, and it'd be a travesty for the league because this guy is so talented, man. So that would be my biggest concern. Right now, this is why I hate doing power rankings. I hate doing top 5 teams. We all have to do in this industry. I get it. It's hard up. But when you look at the games, it's like, okay, so I guess the Rams, they must be one of the best teams in the league because they completely dismantled the Seahawks. And I just don't know where to go with that. So I'm not going to give you my Final Four. I'm just going to continue to just give my analysis, and we'll see if they all land.
Well done. Way to stand tall, Robert Griffin.
Come on,
and
Robert,
true to your
play
convictions.
the game.
No, he will not play the game. He will not play
Dolphins, Bills, Chiefs.
the game. Yeah. Who's your 4th?
Who's my 4th?
Yeah.
I don't know. There are no 4th. Yeah. NFC better than AFC.
Let me put it this way to you. The Chiefs lost to the Lions, right?
Yes.
But no one is going to sit here and the Chiefs can't win it all. No one's going to say that. They lost without Chris Jones and without Travis Kelce. It's not an asterisk, so take that and kick it out the window.
Correct.
The Lions beat the Chiefs. It doesn't matter who was on the field.
Right.
They beat them. But I'm not here and saying the Chiefs are done. No, they're 0-1. They lost. I get it. Let's wait a couple weeks before we start making all these, big statements about these teams. We don't know who these teams are right now.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.